If you're wondering what is the best solution for a do-it-yourself solar system, this video is going to explain everything you need to know about
the difference between solar panels on the roof with net metering, solar panels without net metering, and solar power with a power limiter grid tie inverter. And let's throw in a fourth one to complicate things even more. What if you have a battery backup? For that, we have to start at the meter. And this is important because I know this is going to be a lot of details, but if you don't understand the details, might as well just skip this video. This is a smart meter. That means that it can go forward or it can go backwards. But unless you sign up with net metering with Nevada Power, this will never give you credit. Also, Nevada Power doesn't want any kind of like a grid tie inverter into their network. So because you could only use approved grid tie inverters that they have authorized, not that the one they're using is not as good, but it's just politics, you will never be able to sign up with a net metering without purchasing extraordinarily expensive devices that you're never going to get your money back for it. So skipping the net metering, now we're going to the grid tie inverters. There are single phase grid tie inverters. That's an important term, single phase. Why? Because this is a dual phase or a split phase power meter. How is that affecting you? These are the two phases that come into your house with a neutral ground coming in. You have two separate phases and each plug in your house is hooked up either to one or the other, but never to both. Unless it's a 220, which is like a gas dryer or like a stove, and then you're using both of them as a 220. That means that if you're using a single phase grid tie inverter, you have to have actually one for each phase, because each one has a different load. How do you find out what kind of a load you have on each phase? Let me show you. This is a amp meter. This one clamps around the wire and tells you how much power goes through that wire. It's gonna read AC, and then I'm gonna put it against my first phase. I'll just literally clamp it over. Obviously you don't want to touch anything. And I'm using 1 amp. 1 amp over here, what that means, I'm using 120 watts. So it's voltage multiplied by amps. 120 volt multiplied by 1 amp, about 120 watts on this phase. This could be my router, my alarm system, other little things like those. If I take it off and I go to the next phase, this is my other phase. On this one, I'm using 3.8 amps. This one is maybe a TV, maybe it's a stove that is running. There's something in the house that is using a lot more power. So what you have to do is you always have to balance these two phases for this meter not to go backwards. So will they know if you produce your own electricity? Well, yes, because this will go backwards and it will show up in the data instantly. And you might get a letter from them saying that you can't produce your own electricity. You are not allowed to produce your own electricity because blah, blah, blah. Now, there is a safety aspect involved into it, and that's why the law is written that way, to be against you. So at this point, what you could choose, you could either choose to produce enough electricity only to top off whatever you're producing on each phase, so you're never putting electricity back in, but you're producing enough electricity to top it off. And you could achieve that by getting just small grid tie inverters like micro inverters, or you could get a big one that has a power limiter. And this complicates things even more. This is an atrocity, I know, but it's my fun project, it's my toy, and I'm going to explain to you what it is. It's a micro grid tie inverter that I've attached a fan and some fins and just running some experiments on it. But how it works, it's you buy it very, very cheaply, about $40. And then what you do is you get your solar panels hooked up into it. Obviously today there is no sun outside, so that doesn't really work. And then you hook it up directly to your power outlet. So what this one does, produces power through your solar panels and puts them directly into your network. And right now, because it's a cloudy day, I'm producing literally 19 watts, which is laughable. I have 260 watt solar panels over here. That micro grid tie inverter is only rated for 260 watts. So this system is perfect for how much that micro inverter can handle. So why micro inverters? Well, first of all, you could balance the load very easily with them because you could stack them. You could have 6, 7, 8, 10. You could plug it into every outlet in the house if you want. And also, they are small enough to only top off the amps of what you're using on that particular phase. Remember when I showed you the meter and how many amps I'm using on each phase. Well, if you have a phase that you're using, let's say 2 amps, which is 240 watt, then you could buy a 260 watt solar panel system. You could buy a 260 watt microgrid tie inverter, hook it up to a plug that it's on that particular phase, and then every time the sun is out, you're producing electricity on that phase. So you're basically nullifying the 2 amps that you're pulling in the house by producing them, and therefore you're not using any electricity from the network. You're walking a very, very thin line, because if you're producing too much, remember what I said, you're gonna put power in the network, the company is gonna get pissed at you, and then they're gonna send you a nasty email. So you're walking a very, very fine line. The rule of thumb is that if you have a phase where you have a constant pool of 2 amps, or 200 watts, let's say, to make it easy, let's say 200 watts. You might want to produce less than 200 watts as a maximum. So therefore, there is never any questions asked as far as that goes. The electricity never goes out of your house, and whatever is inside your house, not their business. If you trust it to work for your electronics, not their business. But to play this game of cat and mouse, it's quite complicated because, sometimes you plug things in, sometimes you unplug things in, so this is not really the best solution. So what's the other alternative? The alternative is a grid tie inverter with a power limiter. So this grid tie inverter is specifically designed that it has little clamps that hooks up to the wires that I showed you on the phases. And it knows how much power you're pulling out of the network. So the grid tie inverter adjusts its output if it's more than what you're pulling from the network to stop to a certain wattage, therefore you're not putting anything in the network. And it's brilliant, it's absolutely brilliant, but it has a problem. So we're gonna dig even deeper into the math behind this entire fiasco. What you need to know is that those grid tie inverters are a little bit more expensive. Instead of spending $40 or $50 for one, you're actually spending a lot more. $300 to $400 one. So I know it's not at the end of the world, but then we are going back to, is it worth to create your own electricity when you're only saving 10 cents a kilowatt? Electricity is really cheap in Nevada. So to be able to balance these numbers, make it worth it, every time you complicate your system with an extra device that costs more, then it takes you a year or 2 years longer to get your money back. And that's what you're trying to avoid. Not to have a 30-year or a 20-year system to get paid off. Why? It's because energy is just so cheap in some states. As I said, this math doesn't add up in San Diego. Over there, you'll pay it off in 3 years. But here, it takes a lot longer. And it gets even more complicated. For those people that are still watching right now, man, you're gonna be in for a treat. Let's say that you have the base for your house 500 watts, just to make it easy. So that means that your alarm system, your router, your always on things are using 500 watts. In the middle of the night, or in the middle of the day, or when you're gone on vacation, you're using 500 watts constantly. Because modems use power, the microwave little clock uses power, and so and so. Maybe I'm exaggerating the number, but I'm just trying to make it easy so you understand. If you're producing just that 500 watts for half a day basically, because you could only produce electricity during sun hours, then during sun hours you are basically using no electricity whatsoever. So you're getting your full 10 cents savings a kilowatt for running everything off solar panels. And of course at night when there's no power and you have no battery, then there's nothing that you could do. You're just gonna pull 500 watts out of the network. And this is where the microgrid tie inverters are perfect, because that's the most efficient way to get your money back. You get the solar panels, which have their own cost. You get the microgrid tie inverter, which are very, very affordable, and they have their own cost. But then you have a constant pool of energy from the network, which is the 500 watts. So if you're producing 500 watts throughout the day, those are working at 100% of the time. So you're getting 100% of your money back and you're paying your system very, very fast. But if you're getting a bigger system, like let's say a 1 kilowatt, so it's double than what you're using, now you have to use a grid tie inverter with a power limiter, because you're producing more electricity. You don't want to put it in the network because you're not part of the net metering. And if you're not part of the net metering, the power company is going to yell at you. And if you're limiting it with the power limiter, Now you've just spent money on a very expensive power limiter that you have to literally choke to not produce energy. And that already sounds dumb. But also you have extra solar panels that are sitting and they are producing electricity, but you can't use it because your base is just so low. You can only use 500 watts, but you're producing 1,000, so the power limiter has to stop at 500 because otherwise you're gonna push the clock back and the alarms are gonna come on. And people will say, well, what about net metering, net metering? Well, even though we covered it in the beginning of the video, you might have forgot. You can use net metering with a $400 power limiter grid tie inverter. You'll need to use like a $3,000 one or $5,000 one, whatever Nevada Power has authorized, and therefore your price just skyrockets. And you're only getting paid 7 cents instead of 10 cents of electricity per kilowatt of electricity. So you're spending a lot more money in equipment, authorization, meters on the wall, going through all that phase of trying to build this entire system up, only to get paid 7 cents per kilowatt, and basically take forever to take your money back. Talking 10, 15 years, maybe 20. It's mind-blowing. To understand the numbers, a very, very delicate balance. The most profitable way that you could go with a microgrid tie inverter, that you hook up to each phase, and you're producing only what's your base on that phase. That will pay itself off in, even at these low prices, in a year and a half. After that, you're getting the electricity for free forever. And the fourth system that we did not cover is battery backup. Now, this adds another layer of complexity and expenses to your system because batteries are expensive, limited in life cycles, so they will need to be replaced at one point. So the benefits absolutely get negated by the fact that, if you get a battery system and you're only getting paid 10 cents per kilowatt, and then your battery dies after 6 years and you have to replace it, by the time you got your money back or you're halfway there, you have to buy a new battery. So the battery backup systems are just a little bit of a scam into themselves. Again, depends on where you live. So why do I have a 260 watt solar panel system set up in my backyard? It's because that's my base. 240 watts, that's my router, my modem, my microwave. That's the base that I see throughout every night on this chart. You see there is a little line, lower line. This is as low as I go with little spikes when the fridge turns on and other things in the house come on. But that is the lowest that I could go. So this system cost me almost nothing. I bought these solar panels used on Craigslist, so they were like really cheap. As you can see, they're not even matching, but they're matching voltage-wise, which is important. And the microgrid tie inverter was $40. This system will be paid off in like 6 months. After 6 months, this system will produce free electricity forever, or as long as it works. In average, because sometimes there's a cloudy day, I'm producing about 2 kilowatts a day. 2 kilowatts a day, it's 20 cents. That's 20 cents a day. In 30 days, that's $6. In 10 months, $60. 12 months, $72. 10 years, $720. After the first year, this system is going to be paid off. And after the first year, I'm going to make $70 on it every year, which is something. It's a 2 months worth of power bill, but it's not something to write home about. Can I expand the system? Absolutely. Just get a couple of more grid tie inverters, more solar panels, and problem solved. The problem is that those will be paid off in a lot longer than this one did. Because, for example, if I use those for my AC, this is a 1 kilowatt AC. I could run this in summertime, full blast, uses 1,000 watts. So if I buy a 1,000 watt system, theoretically this one runs for free. Great, saving a lot of money. So I'm saving $1 a day, right? 1,000 kilowatts at 10 cents a kilowatt, therefore, $1 a day. And once you bought that system, once you bought the extra grid tie inverter, another problem comes in. I only run this one 4 months, 5 months out of the year. The remaining months, I'm not using the power, the kilowatt that I'm producing. I have nothing to use it, but again, I'm only getting paid when I'm using that particular device that uses a lot of power. Otherwise, with a power limiter device, my solar panels are sitting over here producing electricity that I cannot use, so therefore the entire system gets choked and I'm saving nothing. So Microgrid Tie Inverter and producing electricity for just your base, it's the maximum and the fastest way that you could get your money back. Everything else behind that, batteries, power limiters, net metering, it complicates everything so much, and it extends the time that you have to pay off your solar system for so long that it gets into the not worth it territory. And again, depends where you live. If where you live, the electricity is expensive, go for it. You learn a lot of things in this video. But here in Nevada, the sun is free. Thanks for watching. P.S. One thing I forgot to add to the video is that this is mine and this is removable. So if I am moving in a year, in 6 months, in 3 years, I just lift it up and take it with me.